Hi, this is Michael London of the Branson Update magazine. Today is Saturday, the 12th of November, 2016. We're going to take a look at explorebranson.com by doing a search on things to do with kids' Branson Christmas. And we're going to get to the official, actually we're going to get first there, the Silver Dollar City ad. But I know that if we go down here, yes, the top things to do with kids in Christmas at Branson. This is a page set up by the explorebranson.com site managers, which are the Branson Chamber/CVB, and they've set up this page to be able to attract top things to do kids Branson Christmas type searches. And in addition, this page sits inside the explorebranson.com site and often comes up if you are searching around on the Christmas stuff, which was recently loaded. We're going to go to it this way today. You might also find it if you were to respond to a social media placement by the CVB or through paid-for ads about Christmas. That is, if you weren't led to a summertime lake fun advertisement, but that's another story. So let's go to this top things to do with kids in Branson at Christmas page, and we will have father and son there in a train window, and we'll go down and see that they're offering them a Christmas show and Silver Dollar City and the Branson Landing. What we're going to look at today is the state of a page called Visit Santa. And we can just go, here's a few places to find them around town. We're going to land, and there's Santa waving at the train coming into the station. Here's where we're going to find Santa. One place to find him would be at Bass Pro, down at the Branson Landing. And we see here that Santa's going to be there November 15 at 5 o'clock. Well, in fact, that's the date that Santa was there last year in 2015. This year, Santa's going to be there November 12th at 5 o'clock. That was today. So anybody right up until today, the only day that Santa goes to Bass Pro, they would have had the wrong information. So anybody using this site will probably show up on November 15 at 5 o'clock and wonder, where's Santa? I saw that information on the website just 3 days ago. Okay, so here's the Branson Landing. All this information for how and when to see Santa is accurate. You'll note there's no specific dates involved, and I believe that it's accurate because they have not changed this information from the 2015, and it happens that they're having Santa at the same hours. Makes sense, huh? The reason why I think that is because I called Kringle's Christmas store and found out that the times listed on the site here are not the times that Santa is at Kringle's this year. In fact, every one of these these time ranges are inaccurate for 2016. Now let's go to the Polar Express. You can see that there's no description of what Polar Express is here, yet if you jump to the Polar Express schedule, you will find the train, but no photography of the Polar Express, nor any description of what it is. So that makes me think maybe I missed something. I'll go back. I don't see any information there under the Polar Express, but in the body copy underneath of Kringle's, I can find that I can also find Santa Claus visiting the Polar Express at the Branson Railway and Silver Dollar City, both ticketed attractions, but they don't tell me what the Polar Express would be. So I've got to figure that out for myself, and I certainly can't find it as a result of going to the official Polar Express page. Aha, but here's Silver Dollar City. We can find out surely when we can see Santa out at Silver Dollar City, and when we go to that link, what we find is Silver Dollar City's all season long page, meaning that this photo, for instance, is probably Mardi Gras or some springtime festival. There's the train, and it's obviously not the Christmas train. Those people have on short sleeve shirts. Now, there is a description of Christmas way down here at the bottom of the description or overview because, hey, Silver Dollar City has Christmas and they're smart enough to market it on their full season page. This is obviously not the page designed to show how to get to find Santa out at Silver Dollar City. Finally, do you see any how to find Santa at Christmas shows in Branson? Well, many of the shows have Santa arrive either during the show or at the end of the show, and it's a fabulous way for a family of the kids to enjoy being able to see Santa. Now, since we're the live music show capital of the world, or at least we used to be, no longer marketed that way in any major ways, and of course Ozark Mountain Christmas, those words, do you see those on this page? No, you don't. So we're losing Ozark Mountain Christmas as the name brand, the marketed, branded words that describe our Christmas season, and we're leaving our where to find Santa information for a whole year, not updating it, despite the fact that on September 27th and subsequently many times, the Branson Show League has pointed out in public that the CVB, who manages this site, is not keeping it up to date, and specifically not keeping it up to date relative to Ozark Mountain Christmas. That's the report. It's a sad report, November 12, 2016, and just more evidence as to why the city of Branson should create their own independent task force that would look at the marketing of our community and see whether it makes any sense at all to give the same agency, which has so painfully, poorly kept our official community website up to date. We're going to give them, the city's going to give them our tax dollars to do the same thing again, when even after we've pointed out to them for years in written reports, in movies, and now in public almost demonstrations against the inadequacy or bringing up the inadequacy of their abilities to perform the task that they've been paid a fortune to take care of. And yet our city leaders say, okay, let's give them the money again. Despite the best efforts of community members to say, hey, there's a big problem here. You ought to look at this. Not only ought you ought to look at it in terms of Ozark Mountain Christmas, but you ought to look at it in terms of the entire marketing plan for 2017 before you vote on it. We've basically proved that you do not have the information that you need to be able to make an adequate decision on this matter. You being the City of Branson alderman and mayor and city manager, who I'm speaking directly to right now, were you to allow the entity that's not updating our information, not keeping it accurate, and given the taxpayer money to be able to do this all over again next year with no strings attached and nobody to look whether or not they're actually performing in a manner that's serving the needs of our citizens, our community, our taxpayers, it would be a travesty at this point. Thank you. Michael London, Branson Update Magazine, November 12, 2016.